So I will activate the recording again. I really hope it will be working in the end. Okay, so literally we can reach the same results. Okay, that's great. So what else can we do? Well, there are a lot of interesting things related to how is it possible to write your first application. For example, we wrote one, and we were able even to run it, as you can see. But how is it possible to have this application pre-created and, for example, send that to France or somewhere else? So when you compile or build the project, and we're talking about C++, you start having exe version of your software in the folder where you have your source file, where you have this code file. For example, I'm using okay, good question. Which folder I'm using? Okay, it's Mac Home Documents, new folder. Okay. Yeah, so you can see here we have this executable file. And you can see that this file is much larger than your text file. Well, it's because by just several words or several symbols in your project, you already attached the library that has references to a lot of other files, and in the end, it's kind of a huge portion of files with codes that have to be included into exe file. And we remember that previously, when we tried to run the file, we had the possibility to take a look what was printed out on the screen. So we had a time, and we had to literally click on the close window or something like that. So let's take a look how it happens here, how it happens with exe files. So you see, we are clicking, and probably we can say nothing really happens, but this program runs and executes itself in a super fast way. So we cannot even see what's written inside the console window, the black window. So how can we literally fix that? Well, we even have one of examples here related to a system calls. Well, a system calls are quite popular things, and they try to emulate functionalities which are not really included in compilers. For example, a pause. Well, this word is known by itself, so we try to run the pause named code from the system. Let's try to use it. And what it will be used for? So it waits for the moment while user will press whatever key. Well, literally, it's just a pausing tool. So if I will just compile the file, so you see I compiled this. So here I have short description about the compilation process, and I would like to run it. So what will I have? So now you can see I'm still having the text on the screen. I have some additional text here, and there is press and key to continue text, which actually is fine for pausing the project for a while. Okay, so we pressed the key and literally this program disappeared. Returning to our IDE. So since system pause was the last operation here, so well, taking a look from top to bottom, it's the last one. So literally, we will have everything executed, everything made in the file, and only then there will be the pausing. Literally, exactly this thing we took a look at, so so you have an idea how this is usable. Okay, well, what's another interesting things that can be used? For example, it's quite boring sometimes to work only with with black white screen. So sometimes we would like to have comments that that color the screen somehow, making maybe some interesting time, and so on and so on. Within terminal, within a so-called black window programming, we can have another system calls where we can specify both background and a foreground of a symbol of all of the symbols which will be just printed after the system function. And in the terminal, we can have only 16 colors, which can be used for text and for backgrounds, background color. So here we have them. So as you can see here, we have only one symbol, and here with color system function, we have we have two symbols. So how should we understand that? So the first symbol, the leftmost, will be the background, and the rightmost will be the text color. Let's take a look how it works. So now we have a cout as the first printout. Nextly, we will use a one color palette for one text, another color palette for another text. Okay, so we had which colors? 8 E, so it will be gray. And the light yellow. So light yellow text will be written on a gray background. Okay. And in addition, let's choose something else, like white symbols on the green background. So we will have 2 and 7. That will mean white text on green background. Oh, sorry, 2 7, not 1 7, but 2 7. So it will be 2 and then 7. Let's try. So it will be 2 and then it will be 7. And let's see how it works like. Okay, So literally here we have already executed the whole code, and we have even the pause implemented. But what if we would have the pause between between color changes? Like first we would have the color change of the screen made by this template and then by this one. So let's see. Okay, so here we have the first one, and now let's press maybe enter. Yeah, and as you can see, this color palette was just changed. Sometimes we need to place the cursor in some specific positions of the screen. It's usable and it is needed in a lot of cases. And how is it possible to make one? So unfortunately, you will have to attach the Windows library. So let's do that. So we can take one, and we can attach that to list of libraries. So where we have include. So in the very beginning of the code, and then we will be forced to take this function and copy it. Not in the main, not between includes, but before the main, as a separated function. So maybe for now we would not be discussing about how is it maybe correctly or whatever. We will be just using it. So we copied it, and then we can start using it. How? Like in the case of the printf or cout, we write the name of the function, and since oops, and since um, and since this is the function which assumes to have a known position where to place the cursor, we have to provide this position. And it happens using two arguments of the function. So one goes for rows, another goes for columns. So this one goes for a row, and second goes for the column. So there could be a question, what is the initial size of the screen of the black window? And in most of the cases, it's 80 positions, 80 symbols in horizontal line, and um, 25, if I'm not mistaken, or 24 in the vertical direction. So 24, 25 lines. So the text which is printable using a cout or printf will be printed starting with the cursor of which we are using and which is placed in the terminal. So let's take a look what will be the result after execution of this code. Let's go for execute, compile, and run. Yeah. So as you can see, the text was placed on a specific, the cursor was placed on a specific position, and after that there was no any cursor displacement functionality, so text just continued to be printed starting with the same line. Okay, here we change the tag, the color background, but as you can see, an additional text is being written, continuing the text which was started from the cursor. Okay, here we have just some examples, but but anyways, so sometimes we would need to have the functions to clear the screen, clear the black window, and for that purpose, some of compilers, not all of them, I would say a small part of them, allow us to have and use the function clear screen. But there is no such function in the C++. In Borland, there definitely will be this one, but not in Dev C++. So how is it possible to clear the screen, the black window, using, for example, the system calls? Well, first of all, it should be noted that that it's possible to use the system as the call. That's one thing, and we can even try to find out the word that would literally be used for manipulating with the window. So so is it clear or clear screen? We can literally try it, because those names, as you have seen, they're readable. They're readable as the text. So you can literally try a lot of these texts, and maybe some of them will be just just fine. Okay, so as you can see, I got the problem related to that permission denied. Previously, it was there, and it means that compiler cannot really replace already compiled file to place a new one. Yeah. So here, as you can see, right now, using a system CLS function, we clear the screen, and as you can see, the rest of the text which is executed afterwards, well, was just printed using the first position of the first position of the symbol. So why there is no cursor saved, for example, printing information starting from the same place? Well, it's mostly because it's mostly because when we make the printout, we can have two cases of the printout. So one is the case when it is not when it is not affecting all other processes, and another is when we are about to make an influence on other text. So mostly here we don't have this influence on another text. So if we need to move text to be printed at a specific position, well, we can do that. Okay. Okay, I suppose about oh, and by the way, in some of applications, in some of compilers, we can find out a so-called go to xy function, and and this function is registered in library Conio, which is not available in most of compilers. So this library just doesn't exist there. Okay, here we have just another example related to colors. Well, I suppose it will be pretty understandable. Okay, and maybe before, since we have a time, I can ask you guys to try to, but I suppose you will just make those things. But I will ask you to make such images, such results. Let's call it that way. As just kind of classwork tasks. So whenever you will finish some of the tasks, you can just uh, kind of inform about this. So I suppose it will just take maybe a few minutes. So whenever you will finish, you can just inform in the chat about this. Okay, we don't have any results so far. Anyways, guys, please try to make these things. Yes, so right now you're doing tasks from 1 to 3, and they are super simple. And then you just write and that you finish them. And just in case we have the case when it's not possible to make one, well um then we'll have to take local materials maybe again, at least some of those. So is there anyone who already made at least one of these tasks? Because I see that there is no anything in chat. Okay, great. If the first one is done, then try to make the second one and then third one. And yeah, and please guys, um try to be active in the chat so I would get what is the progress. Okay, so those students who can be working, so they are working, and those who are outside or or it's just not possible to work on computer, then it's fine, it's understandable. So whenever there will be something for the mark, so whenever there will be something evaluable, then I will see you guys. Don't worry about this. And moreover, if there will be when there will be something available, then you will have a possibility to submit your solutions in Moodle. Like we have planned for the next class, the homework. Yeah. So yeah, like here we have the homework. So it will be assignment for the mark. So you will have to make that. It's mandatory to make one and submit. Okay, so looks like only 3 students made the first one. So guys, please keep working on this. Keep trying to make this. Okay, so Vladislav made the first task. Okay, so also this ask how to clear window. Okay, so now take a look, please, on the screen. So it's system and CLS. So I highlighted this comment for you, and just in case some of you would need that, I will copy this in the chat as well. So system CLS. Okay, so who else made some of those tasks? So again, guys, don't be shy. Once you did something, write in the chat. Okay, can you tell me in Russian about coloring house? Так, ну хорошо, насчет раскрашивания дома вы можете использовать цвета разные. Значит, у нас вот есть список цветов. Кстати, я могу сейчас в чат тоже отправить их. Вот эти цвета у нас. Вот у каждого есть свой номер. И опять же используем вот такую команду. Я, наверное, ее запишу иначе. Color AB, где вместо А вы пишете цвет фона, который вы хотите, а вместо Б цвет текста, который вы хотите. Вот как-то так. Okay, so I really hope others understood as well. So just for a reminder, we have colors, right? And we have a system color function, which allows us to set a background color, which is marked in my message as A. So in place of A, you put um, a symbol of the background color. And in place of B, you put the symbol of foreground color. So foreground is a text color. Okay, so Oswaldus, I really hope this helps you out. Oh, and by the way, there is one thing. This coloring literally colors the screen. There is one thing, yes. Actually, what I'm thinking about, there is one interesting problematics. There's one interesting problematics with compilers that some of them understand the coloring as coloring of just the outputable text, and some of them understand this color as coloring of the full window. So I'm not really sure which compiler you're using. So if you're using Borland compiler, then you can use just text color or text background color. It's in the when you're using Borland. If you're using some other compiler like maybe TDM, no TDC or Mink, then you will have to be using another method. Well, I had well, I had that I had that code somewhere. Okay, give me a second. I will try to take a look where it's located. I will disable screen sharing for some minute, guys, so don't be worried. Okay, so I will place you in the chat one code, and I will show you how you can use this one. Okay, so there are a few functions which you can use, and I will place them next to my main function like this. And here I have the same idea of text color and the text background color, which are implemented in Borland solution. So right now, besides the coloring we set up for the whole screen, we can use, for example, text background, and before the printing out, and it works exactly for printing out. We can use number of uh, of the color. So when we have yes, sorry, the screen sharing. Yes. Okay, now you can see it. So I placed these two functions which I gave you in the chat. So here, like a text color and a text background. So we can use them. For example, before printing out "Welcome to the C++ world," we can run text background function, and we can set up some color. For example, let's take a look. What was the red color code? It was 4. So let's use number 4 right here. So by this, we will set the background for the outputable text, and it will be red. Let's run it. Okay, I don't really get what's going on here. Some symbol. Good question. Where those symbols come from? Because it might happen that that copying from good question. So what is it? Okay, maybe I will firstly put these functions in ++, just to be sure that there is no any single not really needed symbol. Okay, looks like there is no any unclear symbols. Okay, let's copy this text, and let's put it in compiler again, and let's try to compile it. Okay, that's strange. That's really strange. I'm just a bit confused. Why it shows this one? Okay, maybe the problem with the symbol. So it was copied incorrectly. Not really. Okay, that's really strange. But you know, guys, before the next class, I will figure out what's the problem. This is kind of strange thing. Or maybe I have to just erase this comment. Maybe there is some problem in the comment text. No, not really, not really. Okay, I don't really get for now what's the problem. Okay, maybe okay, it should not be the problem related to the return. Hmm. Okay, anyways, before the next time I will figure out what is it, what is this error about. Okay, anyways, so far, put a plus in the chat if you managed to make the second task. Okay, great. Okay, guys, so before we'll finish, maybe there are some questions from your side. Okay, I know that our time is limited and you know it's pretty small, we're a relatively small time, but it is what it is. Okay, guys, so thanks for being here. I really hope next time I will see the same amount of you, the same amount of students here, and we will be just continue working on things. Okay, guys, so once again, thanks for being connected and see you next time. Bye bye, guys.